This week in retrospect, we take it back to 1994, where the Christmas spirit is spreading with the help of local donations.
It's 9:38. Good morning. I'm Mike Shea. Country 108 CKSA and McDonald's are presenting the 14th annual Gift of Christmas. We're going to make sure that every child in Lloydminster has something under the tree this year.
The Gift of Christmas is a program in which people can drop off gifts at either CKSA or McDonald's and be sure they'll be given to those who require them. Mike Shea has been delivering gifts for the past 5 years and says the feeling he gets when seeing the children's faces warms his heart.
You really can't explain it until you actually go out and deliver the gifts and see the reaction of these kids, you know. And like I said, it just makes you feel great.
The same feeling is evident at McDonald's, where the entire staff is involved.
It's a real big part of helping out in the community, making sure that all the kids in the city are looked after. It's real important to us.
Last year, the Gift of Christmas made the holiday season a little more festive for numerous families in Lloydminster, with the same expected this year.
At the moment, I'm not exactly sure how many people are going to be getting toys. It's hard to total up until Christmas Eve. Last year we did 499 families, and a great percentage of those had children. I know it was about 1,800 toys that we gave out last year with CKSA and McDonald's.
Another unique idea is the Taco Time Food Bank Christmas tree. In its first year, it raised over $1,500, with even more money expected this year. As for only a loonie, you're guaranteed a prize, in the food bank, $1.
It seems that the Looney Christmas tree is something that they like to be with and associate with, and all the proceeds are going to the food bank. Every loonie that's given to Taco Time here, we pass it on Saturday to the food bank. A check will be written out.
The money will be a welcome sight because, as always, and especially during this time of the season, people often are in need of a helping hand.
Probably about the same amount as last year, if not more. It's getting harder and harder every year, it seems, for people. This year's been a really heavy load in the food bank.
And in 1998, Lloydminster's annual Twinkle Tour kicks off.
Hundreds lined up Monday night to take in the twinkling lights of the border city. After initial concerns of power shortages in Alberta this winter were averted, the Twinkle Tour was a go.
We usually get around 250. This looks like more than that to me. We've talked about dropping it, but people really enjoy it, and they're calling us, wanting to know, are we having it this year, and how come we haven't seen the sheets to sign up? And the old folks really like to come out here and have a good time.
Along with an RCMP escort, the vehicles wound their way around city streets for about an hour. Most of the organizing is done by the K40s, but without community help and support, pulling it off year after year would be a much more difficult task.
It's a lot easier now as far as volunteers. We've got Dudding buses volunteered, so we put a lot of people on the buses. Before, we had to find drivers for all those vehicles, so yeah, it's a lot of people involved.
Jingle bells, jingle all the way. Oh, what fun it is to ride in a one-horse open sleigh.
This makes me very, very happy. See the old children and the young children enjoying themselves.
After the tour was complete, everyone gathered at the Wild Rose Pavilion for cookies and hot chocolate. And the cadets were on hand to help out, as they have been for the past 6 years.
It's always neat to hear their stories and know what they're like and get to know our people in our community a little better. Basically just help the senior citizens in and out of the buildings, to and from the bus, and help them have a good time, visit with them through the evening, and usually at the end of the night we dance with them and just have a great time.
Once you get into it and you start walking around talking to people and get singing and you really get into it, it's a lot of fun.
And holiday fun was the whole idea behind the evening, which means this year's edition of the Twinkle Tour was another success.
And that's it for our week in retrospect.
Retrospect this week is brought to you by Webb's Ford. Worth your while to drive the extra mile. Webb's Ford in Vermilion.